ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Kelsey Johnson. Welcome to Sports Wednesday. The Optimist boats will take center stage this weekend in Salt Pond, Long Island. Our Charles Fisher tells us that the 7th annual Optimist National Sailing Championships is going to be the biggest and the most competitive one ever held.
The boats have all left en route to Salt Pond. Bahamas Sailing Association Director of Sailing Operations, Jimmy Lowe, says this will be the largest fleet ever in the 7-year history.
We're really excited. All the kids are looking forward to it. And we should have between 90 and 100 boats from all over the Bahamas. A lot of kids from the public schools here, the private schools, Grand Bahama, Abaco, Harbor Island, Governor's Harbor, Long Island, Nassau will all be represented there. So it's a big, undertaking, and we really want to thank Long Island for putting it on.
Many of these sailors have sailed in major competition over the last year, so expect some stiff competition.
We have some kids that have sailed in the U.S. and California last year that really, came to the forefront. And we still have, Paul D'Souza and Spencer Cartwright and all the guys that have been there for the last 2 or 3 years. But Ben Derbyshire and Coach East Burrows and Tristan Eldon, those kids have just blossomed in the last 4 or 5 or 6 months. So it should be really close, and I don't know if we can say who's going to win right now because the competition is going to be really fierce.
Kids from as young as 5 years old to 18 will be sailing over the 2 days.
2 different race courses. There's going to be the Green Fleet, which are basically the beginners. They'll be on one course. And then we'll have the Red, White, and Blue Fleet, which are the championship fleet. Those guys will all sail on the same race course with the same start, but the red, white, and blue designates the age from 8 to 10, 11 to 12, and 13 to 15.
Good luck to all the competitors. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
At this late stage in the game, the executives in the Bahamas Basketball Federation might have to start looking at recruiting new players to come and compete in the upcoming CAC games.
As it relates to the men, I'm speaking with the players that are in the United States. They have some concerns, and we need to make sure we address those concerns. And once that is done, then we'll know whether we'll be headed to the CAC games or not.
It was a busy summer for the men and women's national basketball teams competing in the Caribbean Basketball Championships and the Central Basket Championships. As a result, the executives had to work closely with the players, especially the professional ones.
Michael Thompson Jr. and those guys are going to be busy. The guys such as, like I said before, who have not signed a professional contract so far for the year or who has completed college that is in the United States have made themselves available, provided some things iron out, along with some of the local guys here who were on the national team. So we should be able to have at least 60% of the team that represented us in the summer be there again. As it relates to the women, at this level, without having the team that participated in CBC, we still believe that even if we take a local team from here, we should be able to do well.
Captain of the men's national volleyball team, Prince Wilson, is hoping to coach the CC Sweden Cobras senior boys volleyball squad to victory.
I've been coaching CC for like 2-3 years now. So far, I noticed that they have a good group of guys and they have talent to win this year. Had a good talent to win last year too, but fell short in the playoffs, but we're looking to win it this year.
Coaches showed off their footwork last weekend participating in the Bahamas Football Association's Coaches Certification course. The youth football season will open next week.
I've seen a lot of interesting things. Seen quite a few coaches who are involved with youth soccer developing their skills out here today and putting on tests where ensuring that what they're instructing kids at the various clubs and youth programs around the country, schools or youth soccer, is correct. And we're trying to improve the overall product so that at some point in time we move from just being participants to being very competitive in the sport of football.
It is with great pleasure and all smiles that I announce this week's NFL results for the challenge between myself and the sports guys here. If you haven't figured it out as yet, I'm leading the way, going for 4 or 5 last week. Jonathan won 3 games. Julian didn't go with the Dolphins and paid the price. He He ended up winning just 2 games and Fisher 2 games. And that's a wrap on sports. I'm Kelsey Johnson, who's dominating the guys. Stay tuned. A check on weather is next.
This is ZNS Total Sports, brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.